Hey there, if you've ever just stared at your to-do list and felt that wave of anxiety wash over you, then this is for you. We're going to talk about a really simple, structured way to think about deadlines, one that can turn that feeling of being overwhelmed into a sense of calm control.
First, let's just acknowledge that feeling for a moment. It's a really specific kind of pressure, right?
You know the one, that sense that everything is important, everything is urgent, and there are just not enough hours in the week to get it all done perfectly. If you're a student, yeah, this is probably a very familiar feeling. So let's make it real. Picture this. You've got a big paper that's a huge chunk of your grade. Then there's a project that's definitely important but not as critical. And on top of all that, a small quiz. They all need your attention and they're all due soon. Ugh, where do you even begin?
Okay, so the first thing to know is that this feeling is completely normal. You're not failing, you're just facing a classic puzzle. And the good news about puzzles? They have solutions. There's a methodical, calmer way to look at all this.
So, how do we make that shift from panic to logic? Well, we can actually borrow an idea from computer science that you'll see is surprisingly human. It's called job sequencing with deadlines. Now, I know that sounds super technical, but the idea itself is really simple. It's just a formal way to figure out which tasks to do and in what order to get the most possible value out of the limited time you have. This is where we turn that messy to-do list into something clear. Notice these columns. We have the task, its profit, which is just a way of saying how valuable it is to you, and its deadline. So take a look at task 1, our paper. It has a high value of 100 and it's due by the end of day 2. This simple little table gives us all the information we need to start making smart choices. The whole method is built on one very simple, very intuitive idea. It's what's called a greedy approach, which in this case isn't a bad thing at all. The core idea is incredibly simple. Always start with the task that offers the highest value. We just make the best possible choice for right now, without getting paralyzed by all the other steps way down the road. It's a strategy that kind of gives you permission to focus on what is genuinely the most important thing on your plate. Not the loudest, not the easiest, but the most valuable. Okay, so how do we put this most profit first idea into practice? Let's walk through the process of building a schedule that gives us maximum value with minimum stress. The process is just 5 calm, manageable steps. We'll sort our tasks by value, and then, one by one, we'll try to schedule them. And here's the key trick. We always try to place a task in the latest possible time slot before its deadline. This keeps our earlier slots free for as long as we can. First things first, we just reorder our list. The high-value paper, task 1, is at the top, and the low-value quiz, task 2, is at the bottom. We haven't made any decisions yet, we've just created a clear priority list. We start at the top of our sorted list, the paper. It's worth 100 and it's due by day 2. Following our rule, we schedule it for the latest possible slot, which is day 2. Simple. One decision made, and we can just move on. Next up is the application, worth 27 and due by the end of day 1. The latest available slot for it is day 1, so that's exactly where we place it. Now our schedule has a task planned for day 1 and another for day 2. And this part right here, this is what makes this so powerful. We consider the project it's worth 15, due by day 2. We check for a slot. Day 2 is taken by our high-value paper. Day 1 is taken by the application. There's just no room, so we consciously and calmly decide to discard it. This is not a failure, it's a strategic choice to protect our most valuable work. And that's the feeling. It's not about doing everything. It's about making a series of clear, thoughtful decisions based on what truly matters to you. And here is our final schedule. We tackle task 4 on day 1 and the high-value paper on day 2. Now, notice, we didn't do everything, but by making these conscious choices, we secured a total value of 127, the absolute maximum we could achieve in the time we had. That's not failure, that's strategy. Now, life is not an algorithm. You don't need to make tables every day. The real power here is taking the logic and turning it into a gentle, practical mindset. The real takeaway isn't a table, it's a new set of questions. When you feel that wave of overwhelm, just pause and ask, what's most valuable here? When is it truly due? Is there a realistic slot for it? And based on that, just make one good choice, and then the next. Ultimately, this isn't about becoming a productivity machine. It's about using structure to find a little more peace. The goal isn't a perfect schedule. It's a peaceful mind. And what's more valuable than that?